Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Our 31 alert day kicking in shortly as we take you past midnight tonight through early tomorrow. We are expecting to see light snow falling across portions of North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee, and we do expect some accumulations, which could cause a few issues come morning. I don't think this will be a real high-impact system, but just keep in mind, it only takes a little bit to cause a few problems out there. Again, this runs from midnight through about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Portions of North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee will be impacted. Winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service also in effect as we speak for all the counties that we cover here in North Alabama as well as southern Middle Tennessee. Keep in mind what we had in January was a winter storm warning. So this is a step below that. And as I mentioned earlier, we're not expecting the same sort of impacts nor the same amount of snow that one produced across the area. Some of you will probably be somewhat happy, and there will be some of you that will be disappointed. These are the impacts that we'll watch for later tonight through early Wednesday morning. Again, a few slick spots, primarily bridges and overpasses this go around. We've not had a stretch of cold weather leading up to this winter weather event, so at least initially, any of the snow that falls is going to melt on most of the road surfaces. What we're going to have to watch are for those bridges, overpasses, basically anything elevated where we have cold air above as well as below that could lead to some slick spots in places, but not necessarily will be widespread. The cold's going to be actually, I think, the biggest story of all out of all of this. A high chance of an impact from that with high temperatures the next couple days, only in the 30s, and some overnight lows starting tomorrow night that will be down into the teens, and it'll feel even colder than that. I'll have more on the chill in just a second. And because we're not really expecting a whole lot in the way of freezing rain or sleet out of this, power outages should be rather limited. I don't think that will be a big concern, but we'll keep a close watch on it. Again, following the snow, we've got the cold. There is a cold weather advisory that will run tomorrow night, Wednesday night, midnight through the noon hour on Thursday. We're talking lows in the teens, and the feels-like temperatures or the wind chill, which will be down in the single digits. And again, that will encompass everyone here in North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee. So a couple facets of this change in the weather coming with the snow first and then the bitter cold for a couple days afterwards. Here's what we have right now, Wave 31 Triple Doppler. We are getting some radar returns here up into portions of southern Middle Tennessee, but there is a little layer of dry air in the atmosphere. So oftentimes we can pick up and detect that precip on radar, but it's not quite reaching the ground yet. But we do expect that will change in the next few hours. Here's the latest with future radar, again suggesting some of that reaching the ground just outside of our area, up into portions of Middle Tennessee there along the I-40 corridor. We take you towards midnight, and keep in mind this is where most of that's going to stay through that point in time. We hit after midnight, though. Here we go, 2 a.m. At this point, I do expect some light snow starting here in the shoals, areas of southern Tennessee, particularly I-65 to the west, and all this will gradually spread eastward. Also want you to keep an eye on the pink and the green color. That's your rain snow line, which is going to continue to kind of hug the southern and southeastern corner of the area through the late night hours and on into tomorrow morning. This is 4 a.m. future radar showing light snow for many of us, but again, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, there'll likely be a little bit of a mix from Coleman, Marshall, into parts of DeKalb County. At this point, the precip starting to wind down, so it's not going to last long through the day on Wednesday. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, most of the steadier precip out of here. May have a couple flurries or snow showers that kind of lag behind, but by the noon hour, most of those should be gone. Cloudy skies remain tomorrow, and cold temperatures will be following into the afternoon hours. Now, this is the latest projection from the model, slightly different than what I showed you in my forecast, but kind of showing the same thing. Best chance for a little accumulation in the highest numbers, the shoals into southern Middle Tennessee. And again, if you're over here into Sand Mountain, probably going to be out of luck. And keep in mind what the model shows, what falls, not necessarily what sticks. And what does initially fall, some of that will melt before it does start to accumulate. So expect those numbers from the model. Just take a shave a hair off of them as far as what it is suggesting for accumulations. These are our lows tonight. In the east, we drop to near freezing. Out west, dropping back into the mid to upper 20s. For tomorrow, we don't warm much from there. Again, early day snowfall And then it's just cloudy and cold into the afternoon. Temperatures will make it above freezing, but not by much. 34 in Huntsville tomorrow, 36 in the Shoals. A little warmer in Guntersville, 38 there. And this is one of the reasons why that Sand Mountain area may not pick up much in the way of any precip, with temperatures that will likely hit the 40s there for highs tomorrow afternoon. Here's your Wait 31 Storm Tracker 10-day. There's your cold mornings in the teens Thursday morning, Friday morning. Not even hitting freezing Thursday, and we barely touch the 40-degree mark on Friday. Over the weekend, we do start to see the numbers bounce back into the 50s by Sunday. And next week, hey, this will all be just a memory. Back into the 60s for highs, maybe even approaching that 70-degree mark middle of next week. Snow lovers, again, don't get too excited. Snow haters, don't get too upset. And if you don't like any of this stuff, just wait until next week.
For me, I'm just like, bring on the spring-like weather.
It'll be back soon.
Jeff, thank you. We'll be right back.